Yeah, my name is Prem Prakash and welcome to my channel Simple Easy Python. Today I am going to discuss first problem from problem set 2 Camel Case from CS50's Introduction to Programming with Python. I have already created solution videos for functions and variables which were covered in week 0 and conditionals covered in week 1. If you have not watched them, I will give the link for the playlist into the description and you can check it out there. A very quick disclaimer before I start this video. This video is only for educational purposes and I do not encourage plagiarism. With this background, let us jump into the problem. In the problem, you have to create a program where the user is going to enter a variable into the camel case. Camel case is that the variable name can be of multiple words where the first letter of the first word is in a small letter and of all the subsequent words it is in capital letter. We have to convert it into a snake case, so all these words will be separated by an underscore and all the complete variable name it is going into be a lower case. So now let us get into the coding part, code spaces, and I am already into the camel directory. What I am going to do here is that, for example, if the user enters camel case, then here I am going to iterate through this word letter by letter, and once I come across capital C or C in uppercase, which is at what position, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6th position, so here I will be inserting an underscore so that now uppercase C has moved to 7th position and uppercase C need to be changed into a lowercase. This is what I am going to do over here. First of all, I am going to define a variable where I am going to accept the input from user. Camel case, why I am writing spelling all the time incorrect here, but as we know that input will always going to return a star and stars are immutable, therefore we cannot make any changes into it, and hence I am going to change it into a list. So let us change it into a list here. Now it is changed into a list. What I can do is that we can iterate through the whole list, range len lst. Now if the letter is in small, then I am going to do nothing. So let me just check it out. If it is lowercase, that is true, then do nothing. So that letter will remain as it is. But if it is not true, what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to insert something, an underscore over there. So we are going to use the insert method here, and insert method first ask for the index where we want to insert. So the index is going to be I, and what we want to insert here is an underscore. And then, as I said into the example, this once I insert an underscore here, this uppercase C will move to the next position. So we need to move I accordingly also. So I plus equal to 1, and then list, this letter also need to be converted into a small case, and then we are going to convert it into a small case this here. Now if we print like it is, let us try to do the printing first here. Print, I am going to print snake case. You see what will happen here. If I print just like this, camel.py, so if I enter camel case only, you see here it is giving me everything like this into the form of a list. But what we want here is something like this, camel underscore case. We want something like this. So for this we have to use one more function over here. So let us define something called snake case, one more variable, and we are going to join everything. And join takes the formula is a little weird. It first asks with what you want to join. We want to join it with nothing. We just want to remove all the commas from here. So we will supply as the input parameter nothing, and then write join. What do we want to join? We want to join lst, and then here we can remove this lst and replace it with snake case. And now if I try to run the program, camel case. Here it is. I am not going to check all the cases that are given over here. Yeah, but I am going to straight away check with the CS50, because there is one more method that I want to discuss with all of you. It can be solved. So let us check it out first. Yeah, what CS50 check is saying. Waiting for results. Come on, you see it all is green. The another way that we can achieve the very same thing here is using enumerate function. And one thing I forgot to say here, that okay, we do not need this snake case variable. We can simply copy this whole stuff and make this line and comment, and we can paste it over here. Here, this will also work. It is as good as the first one. If you want, let us check it one more time, what the CS50 checks are saying, before I jump onto the enumerate function. Till the time it is checking and the results are uploading, let me tell you about the enumerate function. Enumerate function is something that is going that gives you both index and the value at the same time when you use it. Here you see it is the same, it is all green. So let us here go here. I am just going to remove all these things, and I am just going to keep the input function. Now here what I am going to do here the basic idea is that whatever the user is going to enter, I am going to go through it or iterate through it, as we call it in Pythonic language, iterate through it, and I will be storing them into or appending them into another empty list. So let me define one more list here. Let us call that list 1 is equal to, here I have defined an empty list. Now for I comma v in enumerate over what? LST. I am going, so just for a moment I would say here that okay, let us see how does it look like. Let clear the terminal and clutter, and here camel case. Here you see it is giving me the index onto the left hand side 0 1 2 3 4 5 and the value against those indices at onto the right hand side, lowercase c, a, m. Then here the basic thing remains the same. Now you have understood enumerate, so let us jump into the solving it. What I am going to do here is that if v is lower, v here is for value, I have just taken the first letter of index and value, v for value, to keep it simple. If it is in lower case, then what we do? We do nothing, simply we are going to append it into the list 1. List 1 dot append what? V. Else means that okay, v is not in lower case. Then what we are going to do here is that in LST, first of all we are going to append an underscore, and then in LST1 we are going to append v but in lower case here, and then we do not need, we need this line again. This was it, and again we need to join it, and I have already explained you the reason why we need to join it. So let us try to run it one time, and I am going to write here first name. Here you see it is like this. So let us jump into what CS50 is saying about the checks. There was one more check, preferred first name. Preferred first name, here you see, and if I simply type name, then it should remain as it is name. Now let me copy from here this part, and let us go through the CS50 checks. Let it check, verifying, and then preparing and uploading, and then waiting for the results. Hopefully everything is going to be in green again here. Yeah, okay, yeah, here you see everything is in green. So this method also works. So you can use any of these two methods. So friends, if you like my video, if you are finding it useful, then consider giving it a like and subscribe to my channel, and please share it with your friends who are pursuing CS50 for Python. Till that time, happy coding.